Well, back to it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to We Speak Cinema. My name is Peter, and this is
Ioan, your co-host.
yes. And today, we are very excited to be back and bringing you a really awesome film from the 1955 era, The Night of the Hunter. Um, what? I mean, it's an acclaimed film. I heard so much about it. We both had heard so much about it, and this is a movie that we both hadn't seen
Oh
prior
no,
to this
no,
video.
no, we have not.
Um, so I guess just initial thoughts first. What went through your head? What'd you think in general?
Wow. Well, it's sort of hard talking about this film, but to be very honest, it's good. It's really good. It's
Yeah.
creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be this way. Um, I can only talk. I mean, I can talk about a lot of things, but the lighting and the set designs,
I'm
the
so
way
glad that you brought that up.
the way the rooms were designed, it feels
Oh my
like you're going
God.
back to the 1920s, to the silent film eras, and you're just seeing a 2D version, like you're sort of the audience and you're seeing
Yes.
a theater play
Right.
happen.
That
And then
lighting, I just want to say real quickly, that lighting was so vibrant. And
yeah,
that shot outside of the house with the
yes,
light going, because they created this foggy atmosphere so that the light could go further
yes,
out the
yes.
window. Oh, it was beautiful. That was my favorite thing on this watch of the first watch was the lighting. Favorite
I
thing.
loved I love talking about this lighting and the fog when we see the preacher Powell or Robert Mitchum appearing, and and you see it's a perfect entry for a villain because the kid, he's like telling a story, and in the back you just see the shadow of the
Yeah,
preacher with the
yeah.
hat.
And it comes on the wall, and
Yeah,
he's
and
just
you're so
like,
startled when you see it.
yes,
Oh my
yes. And
god!
what aids that scene, what lifts it up a little bit, is the music at
Yes,
that moment, because it
yes,
becomes really eerie. And
eerie.
at
Yeah,
some points, though, I felt that the music was almost John Williams like there were some type of themes going on where I was like, it's kind of an eerie like feeling. They make you feel comfortable
yeah.
with something that is not going to be comfortable later on.
Right, right.
So
Um, so and also the acting of the children is really good.
yeah, good
Uh,
child actors.
the whoever played John, he played it really well. But the small girl, she
Hmm.
was nice. She was very cute. But there are points in the film where she's like, "Oh my God, Johnny told a lie. Johnny lied. Johnny made a sin."
Oh my god.
Like, oh my gosh, this
No,
is
they were both really, really good,
this
really
is so
incredible
wrong.
child actors.
It's really good, really well made, and I just love how everything. Yes, there are sets, but then everything was more like filmed outside of a set, like the when you're on in the town, like you're in Mississippi somewhere,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know where you are.
And speaking of the town, I felt very like that we were in a neighborhood, that I knew where everything was in that little town and that everyone knew each other and everyone was very familiar with each other. And that's what makes, um, this villain so scary because he's coming into this town where so many people know each other
Hmm.
that, when they go to check in on the wife that, he later marries his wife, they're worried for her because everybody knows it, so it
And
creates
it
this sense
was
of family.
in the big exactly about the family aspect. I loved it how in the beginning of the film we have this relationship being established between John, the kid, and his father. And
Yes.
he's witnessing that he's being taken to prison,
So well done.
and he's just being teared apart. It's like, daddy, daddy, because he doesn't know what is going on. And sometimes you can relate to what's happening to today when you see people who are being thrown on the ground by police
Yes. Yeah.
forcefully, and it's sort of like it tears your heart apart. And I just loved it at the end, when it was the same scene but with
Hmm.
Robert Mitchum. Even though he was evil, he was seeing his father,
Yeah.
and in a way, by Mitchum being apprehended and seeing him that way, so he sort of
Hmm.
breaks the spell that his father put on him, not telling where the money is.
Right.
I just want to touch a little bit on Robert Mitchum's character,
Yes.
because this movie can be very religious, um,
Yes, I can.
but it can also be a good view of, from a secular perspective, of what religion can be. Because Robert Mitchum, it's sort of the preacher, or he's sort of the man of the cloth who is a hypocrite,
Yeah,
because he preaches one thing and he does another thing, and he believes that he's a direct messenger from God. So he's already a fanatic.
exactly.
And this makes this film so much better when you see his anger and his just viciousness when he like kills the mother of the children. And that's the most, I'm like, no. I mean, you knew it was going to happen, but
Yeah, and they don't show it either. You know,
don't
they
show
cut
it.
away, and then, but what they do show, oh my goodness, and I literally just watched Guillermo del Toro talk about this, is the shot under the water where her
Yeah.
hair is like
Yeah.
floating,
That
and
was so
she's
good.
so you know,
Angelic.
yes, in this water with this, I guess, seaweed or whatever is flying through the water. And he was talking about how he's been trying to recreate this scene all his life, about how the hair was flying through the water specifically, and and then we have the fisherman find her in the water as well, and
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything because he's scared that he's going to go to prison.
But what a great way of introducing a character and then slowly exiting the character.
Yeah.
Because we are being introduced through John,
Mm-hmm.
and then he slowly exits by seeing the mother in the river,
Basically, yeah.
in the Mississippi, and then he drinks himself to sleep. And when John comes, he just falls on the floor, and then we never see Uncle Bill, whatever his name was.
No, no.
And I said, this is a perfect way of concluding a character's initiative within a film.
Yeah.
But when we came to the end, and when the kids arrived at this lady's house,
Right.
I said, "Oh, this is how the movie began. It's the lady's face and the children's faces that we see in the beginning
Yes.
of the
Yes.
film."
But she is, for me, um, right away that she's their symbol of hope.
Yes.
That is, like, I'm getting chills. That is guaranteed. As soon as like you see her with the children, it is so comforting and welcoming after they've been on this, journey through the river, sleeping nights in barns, I guess. And you have shots of random owls, which I loved. It was so cute. But she is just this beacon of light for them, and their protector, because this guy is so messed up that he'll travel miles, distances to find this money. And that eeriness at the end of the film, where I was waiting for the shot where she's sitting with the shotgun in the rocking chair or her chair, and he's outside, and that he starts singing, and she continues, and they're both singing. Like, oh my gosh, the clashing of motives there is so beautifully executed. It's brilliant.
You gotta love the grandma when she brings out the big guns outside.
Yeah.
I said, "This is I started laughing because you didn't see it coming.
No. But I was thinking, like, where is this gonna play into the film? And the lighting in that scene also, let me just mention, there's like a light behind her, almost like illuminating upwards towards her. And there's a lot of shadows cast, like you were talking about before, where shadows play a big part in this film. So
I mean, the whole thing about the shadowing and the lighting, this is very expressionistic in nature. I mean, if you've seen the German expressionistic films such as M by Fritz Lang.
Yes.
So it has that sort of German expressionism. Or if you've seen Double Indemnity, Billy Wilder, again, German expressionism. But really, Charles Laughton, as an actor, the middle of his career, really great. He learned a lot about filmmaking, and I'm glad, because sometimes we had this discussion between ourselves a long time ago, how an actor sometimes is not a successful director.
No.
And in this case is totally the opposite.
And usually never. That's never the case. There's actors who become directors or want to take on directing. They might be okay, like decent, but not brilliant. And this is the only film that he directed. And it's, if I did something like this and I directed this film and I said, that's it, I'd be fine. I'd be set. If I made this masterpiece, forget about it. I don't need to make anything else in my life.
But the reason why he didn't make any other films was because of the reception that this film brought in 1955, which a lot of the critics liked it. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't like it, and that sort of demoralized him. And he never made a film after that.
I mean, that's understandable, since like the one theme of the film that comes to mind is very false prophet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
just this, and as soon as that I knew that that's where we were going, I was like, oh, where's Paul Dano? Where's Daniel
Yeah, I
Day-Lewis?
was just about to mention There Will Be Blood, because this
Yeah.
would be a great double bill. Yeah, it's great. The cinematographies are great and everything, but at the core, what is the story trying to tell us?
Mm-hmm.
Is religion bad? No, but can religion be used to do evil things? Absolutely.
Yeah,
It has been done in
absolutely.
the past. And
Absolutely.
a person like Robert Mitchum can just do it freely because he has no conscience, because he
Mm-hmm.
thinks he's the messenger from
Mm-hmm.
God.
I want to say my favorite scene from the movie.
Yeah.
I got so hyped when I was watching it. I couldn't believe it. It's when Robert Mitchum is sitting at the table,
Uh-huh.
and he's talking to the daughter, I believe, and the son. They're all sitting together, I think.
Oh, when he's eating, right?
Yeah, and he's like, he starts slamming the table, and he says something like, Johnny doesn't matter, or whatever the kid's
Yeah,
name
he
is.
says,
And
he
like,
said, no, because he's asking the little girl, so now you tell me, where is the money?
yes.
Um, and then he says, I can't, Johnny. We don't care about Johnny.
Yeah.
Where's the money hid?
But that's why I promised John I wouldn't tell.
John doesn't matter! Can I get that through your head, you poor, silly, disgusting little wretch?
So good. I
So good.
love the delivery of that. It was so uh shocking at the same time. It was scary. Like it
Was raw.
was
It
so
was
good.
so raw because he was eating and he wasn't allowing the children to eat. So it was so cruel to see those
Yeah.
children just staring at him,
Mm-hmm.
guzzling down chickens. My favorite scene
Yes.
in the whole film is when Robert Mitchum is saying, "This is HATE and LOV. Now I'm going to tell you the story of life."
Yep.
I just love that.
Now watch him. Old brother left hand. Left hand hates a fighting. And it looks like love's a goner. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hot dog loves a winning. Yes, sirree. It's love that won. And old left hand hate is down for the count.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
um,
They make something theoretical, physical, because
yeah.
it's like it's just straight symbolism where you're love versus hate, and you're bringing it into reality with your hands.
And again,
So
it's the same thing in Do the Right Thing.
yeah, I mean, it becomes a gimmick sort of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of specific things that you can pick out in this movie that have their own purpose. Like, I like that example that you said, when you bring in a character and then you use it later to do a reveal of the body in the river,
Yeah.
or the hands where you tell the story. That's that purpose. Everything serves a purpose, and the script was so perfectly written.
Perfect. It was, and then you remember in the town, there's the baker,
Yeah.
it's the lady, and then her son, and they're
Mhm.
very pious, very religious, amen and alleluias everywhere.
Yep.
And then at the end of the film, she's a totally, completely changed woman who's
Mhm.
about to kill the preacher. And it's hilarious because you see the dichotomy between the same character but in the different states.
Yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, you hit it right on the nail. I mean, they go out with pitchforks basically.
Yes.
It looked like Shrek when they're going after Shrek at the beginning of the movie.
And I love, again, regarding a small character being introduced and then softly being taken out, is the hangman. He comes
Yes.
home, washes his hands, and says, I can't do this anymore.
Hmm.
And then at the end, he's like, I'll be glad to be doing this.
It's so great. Let me see. I want to hit all the points that I wanted to hit. So I liked in the beginning where both the male figures end up in jail together at the beginning
Beginning,
to
yes.
to project the story forward. We have the person who's leaving us, which is basically the children's father, and then the person who's going to be coming in as their father figure, meeting together in a confined space.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant. um let's see.
I really enjoyed the basement scene.
So
That
good.
was,
Great.
because no, the thing is that the preacher comes back home and he says, children, children, and then you're like, why is the screen narrowing into a circle, and then
Yes.
you see it concentrates on the basement window.
And they're in and then it cuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it cuts back to them inside.
Let me tell you, um, this is a masterpiece. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, the more we talk about it and I think about it, it is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
There was a point where Pearl, I think, was cutting up the money or like
Yeah,
tearing it.
she
And I
was-
said, no, this is the whole point of the film. This is like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
And I just loved it. I loved it when John brings Robert Mitchum back into the cellar. He was like, "Where is it? This is concrete.
There's nothing here.
There's nothing here. This is concrete."
There was
and then-
okay, 1 second, because I really want to bring this up.
yeah.
2 things. There was a shot. It looked like an attic, but I don't know. They didn't go in the attic in the film. Where I believe that Ari Aster got inspiration for Hereditary from,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
because
yeah.
it was a triangle,
Yes,
I got
it was the
chills.
bedroom. It was
Yeah.
the bedroom when he's like, he's receiving revelation. that
Right.
He has to kill the mother, and that's when
Yes.
It's
I
right
mean,
before
the bedroom in Night of the Hunter, the treehouse in Hereditary.
Hereditary.
They basically go together.
Yeah.
And throughout the entirety of the film, I'm sitting there thinking, besides, there will be blood. I'm like, this is reminding me of something, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And at some point halfway through the movie, I got it. And you might be confused why I say this, but it
Okay.
reminded me of Fanny and Alexander,
Okay.
because the father, this new male figure is coming in their life, and the bishop or Fanny and Alexander
Yes.
is so rude, and he's the meanest guy on earth. And then
He-
same thing with this guy, with this villain comes in, but this guy's a serial killer, so
Yeah, but they're both hypocrites.
Both.
They don't follow what they preach.
I was thinking the same. Like I was sitting there, I was like, I've seen this story before, but
That's
not
a-
in this way.
So that's a very good point, because I didn't notice Fanny and Alexander.
And I was like, this man is reminding me of someone that I absolutely hate. I was like, who could that be? And I was like,
Hmm.
oh,
It's the
Fanny and
bishop.
Alexander.
Yeah, it's the bishop.
Yeah. So listen, Night of the Hunter,
Oh man,
I'm giving it a 4.5 right now, but
me too.
next rewatch,
Better be a 5.
it's gonna go up, because I want to see this again. I want to see it again today,
You want to see it together. So here's my last impressions on the film. I feel that because I saw this film before this, it's sort of hindering my appreciation of Robert Mitchum's cruelty in this film.
Mhm.
Now, a good film to check out with Robert Mitchum playing another villain is Cape Fear.
Okay. This is what Nathan was talking about, right?
This is what Nathan Hale was talking about. Cape Fear is about also somebody a murderer who gets out of jail, and he's stalking his lawyer who put him into jail.
Mhm.
And that's where I'm going to leave it, because let me tell you, the character that Robert Mitchum plays in Cape Fear is I think it's more disgusting than this guy.
Wow.
Like, it makes your screen and your skin.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw the 24-hour video and that he watched it, I was like, wow, like a perfect score for Cape Fear. Like I really want to see this now.
I mean, let me tell you just one line what Robert Mitchum says in Cape Fear.
Yeah.
He says, "Your daughter's getting to be more juicier day by day than your wife." And you're like,
Okay.
and the lawyer is Gregory Peck. So imagine you saying that to Gregory Peck. You just want to punch Robert Mitchum in that film. So
Got it.
So besides that, the following film that we're going to be talking about next time we're going to meet, it's going to be, I don't have it.
Okay. Every time I'm waiting for you to pull it out from like underneath the camera, above, like.
I don't do magic. I don't have it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a movie. I can't believe
it's a movie. What do you know?
What do you know? It's a movie starring Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
But he's young. He's a young Michael Caine.
Yeah.
1971 or 72. And the movie, it's called Get Carter.
I think I've heard of this, and you might have brought it up. When did you watch this? Was this a while ago?
Last year.
Yeah, yeah. I
Last year
think you
in
brought it
summer.
up when you watched it last year. Okay.
Another film, another neo-noir film. This is set in England.
Mhm.
Get Carter, which is of course Carter is Michael Caine. He is on a revenge path.
Are there guns involved?
Oh yeah.
Got it. Any
Oh, yeah.
explosives?
So if you think Point Blank was good,
Yeah,
this is 1,000 times better.
but with Michael Caine.
But with Michael Caine, and he's playing the most ruthless guy that you've ever seen.
My gosh, I'm so excited.
I mean, in this movie, there's gonna be the whole point. When you're gonna watch this film, there's gonna be this whole point of, am I really rooting for him to do that? Am I is he a moral person? What's the who's playing the good and who's playing the bad in this film? Because
all right,
the very bleak, it has a very bleak ending, much more bleaker than Point Blank.
I'm excited. You got me hooked.
I'm fully thrilled.
You got me hooked like the car in the river in Night of the Hunter.
I like that. Anyway,
okay.
Thank you so much for recommending me this film.
No, I just we had to see it.
We blind bought it last year.
Yeah, it was in our collection.
So we had to see it. So I'm glad, and I hope you'll enjoy Get Carter.
Thank you. I'm excited to watch it this week. And to everyone watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if anything, if you want us to talk about a film or whatever. Subscribe,
let's recommend, guys, some films.
Yeah, give us stuff to recommend, because right now we're just going off of what we want to watch for each other. So I'm
honest, I don't know what we're gonna watch after Get Carter from my recommendation. Like,
I haven't thought about it. I'm
in the blue. So. Anyway,
thank you for watching. Have a great week, Ioan, and everyone watching. That's a wrap. Thank you,
my good sir. And as Robert Mitchum would say, is a wrap.